Oh, there we are live. Hello, everybody, and a very warm welcome from Vienna. I see there is the first I'm here, man. Good to have you. I would ask everybody who's watching today to make the things a little bit easier for all of us to probably also tell us where you are located. So this will be fine if in the chat, in the live chat, you would say, okay, I am joining in from I don't know, tell us. And I'm pretty curious to see you. So the reason I'm back again today is because I would like to chat with you about the year 2019, the watches we've all been seeing, probably testing, those we had on the wrist, not on the wrist, those we were looking after, those we, and so on. So let me know, please, which of the watches you have seen this year, 2019. I'm not talking about 18, not 20. I'm talking about 2019. It's the last day before the New Year's Eve. Tomorrow we will, the year will end. Let us know which or what type of watch, which watch impressed you, which did not. And this will be the topic of tonight. And I would be so happy to discuss these things with you. If you have any questions concerning a watch, of course, I'm here to help you, to talk with you, to give you some advice or whatever. But primarily, I would want to know what are your favorite watches? Okay, now finally the people joining in. Please don't forget to tell me where you are located. Yes, we have Patrick from Switzerland. Welcome, Patrick. I'm glad to have you here on the show. That's on the show, on the chat. Michael Freeland from Finland. Very nice. Good evening. Then we have, let me quickly see, London, John McDonough from London. Welcome to our chat here. So good to have you. Florida, Happy New Year, Majestic 12. Very nice, very fine to have you also. So let's jump right to the first things. The Patek, I see here, Eddie Devonray. Unfortunately, you didn't tell me where you're coming from, but Eddie, you were talking about the Patek Philippe calendar 5212. Yes, sir, this is a stunning, beautiful watch. I have to agree. Very good choice anyway. Patek Philippe is always good. And honestly speaking, I have another watch at Patek Philippe that would be my favorite at Patek. That's this wonderful 5172, if I'm not wrong, chronograph with a blue dial. That would be my dream watch. Let's call it that way. Good. Lange sport watch is a bomb. Ha! This is a good one. Who of you does agree? Is the new Lange Odyssey really a bomb, or is it not so much a bomb? Because when I put the video online, this is the video that has the most comments, about 1,200 comments. We had everything there, from bashing and until the range was bashing on the one hand side until loving the watch, and yeah, everything was there. So, what do you think about the Lange? Is it a good one? In my opinion, this watch, when it will be on the market, when people will have the opportunity to see it right on their wrists, I can tell you, the mind will change, because the watch definitively looks better on the wrist. You have to have it on the wrist, and you will also understand why Lange chose to have such a broad a bracelet that goes right into the that attaches that the bracelet is so broad when it is attached to the case. But anyhow, let me continue here. Yeah, Rolex Batman is not a watch of 2019. Xavier Vega, good day from New York City. Welcome. It's great to have you with us. I really like the Lange Odysseus besides the bracelet. Yeah, I was just talking about the bracelet. Do you think other bracelets options will be available? GTAC is asking this. Yes, I am absolutely convinced that Lange in the evolution of that watch, and I'm sure that watch will be not only stay a freehands watch with a big day and date indication. You will see a chronograph, a GMT, probably maybe also some small complications, moon phase, or maybe even an annual calendar. And the more it goes into the sporty range, let's talk about the GMT, or maybe we go about the chronograph and they will add additional straps or an alternative. Yes, I'm sure. From Delhi, India, Vedic Sar, welcome. Hello, I'm happy to have you. Omega Speedmaster Polo L50 stainless steel. Yes, sir, a very nice one indeed. I agree. In generally speaking, I loved what they did with that 50 years of moon landing. The gold watch is a pretty, let's say, it's a particular watch in yellow gold. I don't know how many of you are wearing yellow gold watches. I don't. Even if I could afford one, I wouldn't wear one. Because I'm probably not the guy. My skin is too pale. I'm not the guy who should wear a yellow gold watch. But maybe there are people who can wear a yellow gold watch, and probably on their wrists, this Speedmaster edition in yellow gold, very limited edition, looks good. But the limited edition you were talking about, yes, this is a stunner. I like it very much. Even there were some complaints that people said, oh, why did they use the picture from the astronaut climbing down from the stairs just right before jumping on the lunar surface? Oh, yeah, they could have taken another picture probably, but they didn't do it. So it's not a question. It's done. The watch is on the markets, and I see it's very much sought after. So people are looking for it. Juan Olmos from Chicago, Illinois. A very warm welcome here from Vienna. Let me go continue. Good morning from Hawaii. That is amazing. This is so cool. People, this is so cool. When I look back, when I started my career as being a journalist, I was typing into an old Windows computer. I was typing my texts in a Windows computer. And this was so embarrassing because it was such a pain in the ass. And then little by little, by coming up with all these goodies from Apple, it went easier and easier. And then I started the first blog, and it was more interactive. It's so amazing. Now we are talking, the world is reuniting for a watch chat. That's so cool. Very cool. Yes. Good morning from Hawaii. Odysseus impressed me. Me too. I already talked about the Odysseus. Then we have someone from Southport in the UK, the rumor monger. Welcome. Then Ronen Gino, Jaeger-LeCoultre Giro Tourbillon 5. Yes, this probably could be the candidate for the watch of the year. If we agree, end of the live chat, to probably go into a little bit, think about what could be the watch of the year in all terms, which will be the ultimate watch, the unparalleled watchmaking. I think the Giro Tourbillon 5 from Jaeger-LeCoultre has a very, very good chance. All of you who did watch the video know how special this timepiece is, and the evolution the watch made from the Giro Tourbillon 1 until the 5 today. So, Mandy Lyon from Beverly Hills, very warm welcome also here from Vienna. Then we have, I really like those Odysseus, but the datograph by Petro Tourbillon is a true winner for Lange to me. Stunning as salmon dial. Yes, I agree. That's a watch. That's far of what we can imagine. Most of us, I think, and also price-wise, this is a watch that is pretty expensive too, but it is a stunner. I fully agree. What do you think about the Blancpain Air Command? Yes, sir. The Air Command, and some of you probably recognize the picture I've been using to announce live chat. The Blancpain Air Command is one of my top favorites for the watch of the year 2019. If we would spread up, let's say, the Jaeger-LeCoultre Giro Tourbillon 5, put it in the league of the watches who belong to the complicated watches, but in sports or chronograph. Let's take the chronographs. This will be probably my chronograph. It is a stunning, beautiful watch. The make is terrific. Blancpain offers really some quality you don't even think about to wear such a beautiful and such a well-made watch on your wrist. And end of the day, it's a watch where you are, once again, as I said in my last live chat, it's about you telling a story. You have to be active when wearing an Air Command and tell the story about the Air Command. And this is pretty awesome when you do this, because then you have, you're in communication and it's all about a watch you're wearing. So hello, I recently purchased the new Omega Planet Ocean 600 meters with white dial and bracelet. What do you think about the watch? Have a good job. Have a good job, and also Happy New Year. Lucio from Switzerland. Talking about Omega, I just can repeat myself. I am a very big fan of Omega. Why is this the case? Because I'm very convinced that Omega in the last years did a lot of investments in the technology of the watches. So these watches with all the new movements, and they are now have been fading out slowly. All those movements that were not Master Chronometer certified, but those who are Master Chronometer certified, and that's the entire collection. Meanwhile, they do resist magnetic fields up to 15,000 Gauss. That's pretty, it's unbreakable, the watch. Let's call it like this. It's a cruel word, because who wants to break a watch? But the Omega watches, the new ones, are probably unbreakable. The make is sensational. So fantastic choice. And I really have to say, good choice. Well done. It's always good to wear an Omega. Then we have Ronen Gino Brugge, the only watch edition. Yes, but this is only watch edition is it's a one-time shot. So let's probably I liked it, and yeah, but okay. It's the Brugge. Windows 95. Yes, I think I started with Windows 95 in the early days. It was crazy. I was writing articles for a newspaper in Austria. And then I started to publish articles in Peter Braun Armbanduhren, and then finally I changed, and I got to Kronos, to the Kronos team here in Germany, and it was fantastic working, but it was very differently. Markus Quint, hi Alexander, Grüße nach Wien, die Grüße zurück, wo auch immer sie zurückgehen. What do you think about the 5215 wiki calendar from Patek? Yes, I just said this before. It's a gorgeous watch. This Patek really, And I also said there's one Patek that probably would, for me, fit better. It's that chronograph with the blue dial. Are you wearing a Swatch, Alexander? Yes, I am wearing a Swatch. It's the Swatch Pay. I just got it a couple of days ago, and I'm wearing it to test it. So what you do is it's a credit card on there, and whenever you need to make some payments, instead of pulling out your credit card from your wallet or wherever you are hiding it, and these days when you are just buying a coffee somewhere, and you just pull it on the surface of that reader, and it is paid. It's not so bad. It's pretty simple technology. Will always work. You don't need to charge it. Not so bad. So that was a little advertising for Swatch. Hopefully someone saw it and I was going to pay me something for it. No, I'm kidding. I was just really, I got it, and I needed to check it out if it really works, and it's not so bad. Yes, how about Rolex updating the Oyster Quartz design, adding an automatic movement and creating a superb piece? Just an idea. Concerning Rolex, we can make a lot of, we can probably gather a lot of ideas, but as everybody knows, Rolex is like an oyster. It's not a coincidence that the brand sells oysters. It's also the brand itself is an oyster. It's very hard to get any information out from there, and it is even harder to bring in any information, because I think in their pipelines there must be tons of interesting stuff. But as Rolex wants to stay consist what it is, and not to change too much, and not to invent too much, and not to go left and right, I probably think a lot of things are in the pipeline, and maybe also one of the watches you were talking about. How about Rolex increased production? We talked about this last time, and I explained to all those who attended the last chat that Rolex, it's the question, the bottleneck is the movements in the moment at Rolex. And Rolex movements are not made in Geneva, but they're made in Mille, in the heart of Switzerland. Mille is, let's say, geographically in between Geneva and Switzerland, and Geneva and Zurich. And in Mille, there is also the headquarters of Swatch Group. You have Omega, you have Swatch, and a couple of smaller brands. And in Biel, Omega has just bought a lot of land, Omega. Rolex has bought a lot of land, and they are building new factories to increase production to about 30%, but I think this will still take about 3 years. They need to train people, they need to find people. I heard they are looking about to employ about 1,500 additional people, and that's not so easy as everybody thinks, to just snip 2 times with a finger or 3 times and to have a factory that is producing Rolex movements in the quality they do, but they are doing it. They are doing it. So let me see. I don't want to miss any about the things. Legacy Machine, Thunderdome, Mr. Max Büsser and friends. I just can, if I would wear a hat, I would say chapeau, raise my hat. What Max is doing with his friends is simply stunning. The guy started from nothing. He came from Harry Winston. He was there in charge of the Opus project and the brand manager at Harry Winston. And he started his own company doing these marbles, these ticking marbles. And Max is a fantastic guy. He stayed a child. He is really, he really likes to play with what he's doing. He's enjoying his job. He's having fun. And after going through some really difficult times, I think he's financially settled now and he's able to do what he wants to do with whom he wants. I can just say, any of those watches of Max Büsser and friends, respect. I really like them. Red Atticus, yes, good evening, sir. Good evening. Then, good afternoon from New York. Alexander, what are your thoughts on the Chopard Alpine Eagle? I really like it. Blue Shirt Buddha wants to know that. Honestly speaking, I'm a little bit disappointed about the Alpine Eagle. The reason is because the watch is too small for me. The watches look terrific on a woman's wrist, honestly speaking, especially those two-tone versions they have issued. But the men's version, for me personally, is too small. I simply don't get the point why Chopard didn't dare to make the watch bigger. It is too small for me. It is you have the intention. It's lost on your wrist. I don't have huge wrists. Today, someone in the video with Moser asked me the size of my wrist. It's 17.5 centimeters if you measure around. But the Chopard really, in terms of what they have done with the watch, in terms of what the materials are, this special alloy of steel they're using, by the way, a steel that is manufactured in Austria from Böhler, one of the most, let's say, the best, who's one of those manufacturers who produces the best steel in the world. Also, Rolex is buying steel from Böhler. And the steel is exceptional. The quality is good, but the watch, for me, at least, Alexander Linz, the watch is too small. That's my opinion. But this is something did you try it, by the way, on your wrist? Yeah, you did? You did not? Okay, let me know. Blue Shirt Buddha, the price is probably attractive for the watch. It's not overpriced. You get an in-house movement. It's not so bad. But let me know if you have tried the watch already on the wrist. I would be interested to know what you think when you wore the watch on your wrist. So, agreed. The watch inspired. What? No, I won't read out that. Planet Oceans are thick. Yes, that's a problem. Who told me this? PKD was writing Planet Ocean watches are thick. That's true. This is due to the movements of Omega. They are not the thinnest ones on Earth. And the construction of the Omega movements is quite thick, and so all the watches are pretty thick. That's true. But yes, this is a flaw. They know, and I think they are working on the solutions. I think in the next years we're going to see some more thin movements from Omega coming. Oops, maybe I shouldn't have said this, but Vacheron Constantin, overseas blue dial, rose gold, perpetual calendar. Jesus Christ, that's a beautiful watch, no doubt. The overseas is a watch I love very much, no doubt. And it's also very underestimated compared to the other steel watches that are so really crazy hyped, like the Nautilus from Patek, and of course the Audemars Piguet Royal Oak. Then what do we have? Android 16, Patek Philippe Nautilus. I just yes, the Nautilus is a gorgeous watch, but it's too much hype for me. It's too much. I wouldn't want to wear one. It's simply yeah, too much hype. I need to scroll back. Excuse me, guys, for not looking at you 1 second. Because I touched my mouse too quickly. Yes, I'm back in. See, hi there, big fan of your channel. Parsa Shaki, where are you based, my friend? I would like to know where you're based. Android 16, gold one, okay. Oh, we have to talk about the watch Vacheron Constantin created for Corey Richard and his exhibition to the Mount Everest. Yes, why not? So what do you think about the watch they have been creating? Do you like it personally, or you don't like it? Do you know what watch we should talk about from Vacheron Constantin, the perpetual calendar they presented this year? The one where you have the possibility to slow down the watch. The calendar functions of the watch will still continue to run, but what you're having a power reserve of, I think, almost a month. And this is, I don't have the data in my head actually, but this Vacheron Constantin perpetual calendar, where you have the possibility by pressing a button on the case, on the side of the case, and then you're slowing down the entire mechanism. The watch will not be, the time, the hours and minutes will not be as accurate as, of course, if the watch would run at full speed or 3 hertz. But as once you are slowing it down, it goes into kind of a slow mode, but still continues to work as a perpetual calendar. So this is about what the watch is doing. So the perpetual calendar will continue to run, and the advantage is if you are taking off your perpetual calendar from Vacheron Constantin, you put it away up aside, you wearing a sport watch, whatever, and you put it back. Even weeks afterwards, you will not have to set anything, but you just have to wind it, and you just have to press the button to speed it up again to normal mode. And then you will still, and again, have a wonderful watch. You wanted to know your view on a Patek Philippe 5271. Yeah, what shall I say about Patek Philippe? It's we're all dreaming about 5270s and all these complications. Yes. Yeah, speechless. No, Patek Philippe is simply something that's gorgeous. You have to say it and you have to name it, and it's good if people are interested in let's say in a brand that is so much hype, because some are turning away from Patek, and it's still good that people are looking at the brand in the way you're doing it. Yes, it's okay. It's okay. You agree? Yeah, okay. Neo, hi, Alexander. What are your thoughts on the Urban Jürgensen reference? Oh, honestly speaking, I would have to take one of my books I have here. I will show you something. I have the Peter Braun Amberton catalog on my table, and I would have to look into the Urbansen because I don't know which watch it is exactly. If there is time left, I will do that later. And generally speaking, Urban Jürgensen, yes, ups and down in the last years. It's not particular my brand, so this is also probably the reason I'm not so much into the brand, and I'm not so much aware of what they are doing actually. Then thanks for Shipman Shisham Bangma 59. Thanks so much. I appreciate your response about my Omega. Cheers, Lucia from City. Yes, you are welcome. Once again, I hit my mouse too quickly and it scrolled away. Yes, INSBA asked me, do you think the Grand Seiko with their superior finishing and competitive pricing are becoming serious contenders in the markets? They are not Swiss made. That's the biggest flaw they have, because many who buy wristwatches go for a Swiss made, even made in Germany, is not, let's say, not as good as Swiss made. Sorry, the German brands, but these are facts. Many buyers go for Swiss made. In terms of quality, what Seiko is doing is okay. There is no doubt the pricing is very aggressive, I would call it. And therefore, I would say if they are opening up more on the European markets, if they get if they offer more products, more mechanical watches on the European markets, and also on other markets, probably they will become a competitor. But will take some time because people are used, as I told you, to buy Swiss watches, and it's a bit difficult to see. For me, it's a bit difficult to see Seiko or any other Japanese watch manufacturer to compete one by one to the Swiss manufacturers, even if some of the guys or you out there watching now are getting angry because I've been saying this, and they will now start bashing me again for saying I'm not so I'm not so convinced about Seiko, but these are the facts. People look about Swiss made. And I would say Seiko will stay a little bit a brand for fans and for people who are much into the watches. So Richard Northwood, price increases for Rolex are quite big for 2020, on average around 1K per watch. Check. Yes, this is true. The price raise is there, but anyhow, whatever prices they officially demand for the watches, they are still cheaper than those prices that are you have to pay when you buy a Rolex on the gray or parallel market. So I would probably even want to pay 1,000 more at an official Rolex dealer, and to get my Rolex from a dealer and not from a I don't know, non-authorized dealer, black parallel market, whatever. I don't even want to name them. Captain Z, hello back. Nothing new on red Neo red. Says that love your channel. Great. Okay, thank you very much. Then Batman on Oyster is ultimative. Yes, I agree. Wait, let me hear. I have a question. Yes, here, Mandy Lion. I have a question. I collect what I like to call beautiful, ugly watches like the Audemars Piguet Survivor, the Hublot Oceanographic, the Palm 382, and the RM Pablo McDonough. Any suggestion for our next purchase? Yeah, that's a good one. Any suggestion for our next purchase? Why? I don't know. That's a crazy question. Oh my goodness. Let me think about it. Maybe I have an idea for you. Let me think about it. Yeah. Oh my goodness. People have ideas. That is. Oh, Basha. Yeah, from Nepal. Very nice. That I'm happy. I'm in Texas. Captain Z. Later. So good day, Alex. Always good to see you, mate. Albert Bremer. Hi, Albert. Then, hey, Alex, can you please talk about the new Breitling 806 Navitimer? What are your thoughts on the new platinum and rose gold versions? The Navitimer is an icon, I would say, from Breitling, and as long they are staying in line with the history of the brand, and the Navitimer is a chronograph, I am in. If the Navitimer, even if the watch sells, I've heard that the watch is selling quite good because the people seem to like the look, especially women do. But as long as the Breitling stays in line and the Navitimer is a chronograph, and as long as the Navitimer has all the features the watch had when it was invented in the 1950s, I think I would say it's a cool watch. When it becomes a watch that is adopted to be different, but still the only thing that remains is the Breitling Navitimer look, but the watch is no longer a Navitimer. I'm getting skeptical. But the one you've mentioned, yes, Navitimer is always a good one. I have Navitimer in my collection. It's a very cool watch. The only problem I had is before I got my reading glasses, I couldn't read anymore from the dial because there's too much information on it. But now I'm happy again and I'm wearing the watch. Then let me, platinum and rose gold versions, they're always cool. Platinum is always cool. Platinum for me is the coolest material because you are wearing an expensive watch without showing it. Rose gold is much better than yellow gold, of course, because rose gold is much more decent. But if I would choose a precious material, I would go for white gold or platinum. And I'm not so a big fan of any of the yellow or rose gold, at all. So, what are your views? Michael Freeland, what are your views on the Speedmaster moon phase? Do you mean the one moon phase where you have the little moon boot on the moon? Is this the watch we're talking about? If we talk about this one, the one with the blue wonderful dial, I would say it's an exceptional, beautiful watch, and you should, if you have the chance to get one, take a magnifying glass and discover the moon boot on the surface of the moon disk of the moon indication on the watch. Neo, what is your favorite watch in your collection? This is an answer I already gave last time. It's an Omega Speedmaster. I'm a huge fan of Speedmasters, so I would lie if it wouldn't be an Omega Speedmaster. What do you think about Richard Mille hype? Great watches, but massive hype. Do you see the hype coming back to normal anytime soon at all? No. Richard Mille is over the top. Richard Mille is a watch that is, let's say, it is the kind of the club watch without wanting to harm anything Richard is doing. The club watch of the richest of the world, or is the entry watch you have on your wrist to be part of them. It's a phenomenon what Richard Mille has done. I met the guy before he started his brand. At the time being, it was at the SIH in Geneva. Jean-Henri Mélan, who was at the time being the CEO of Audemars Piguet, presented me a friend, and this was Richard Mille, and he said to me, Alexander, I present you Richard Mille, and this guy is going to do some crazy things. You will be astonished. And honestly, everything Richard that evening, we were standing at the Audemars Piguet dinner. It was a kind of a cocktail dinner. We were standing there eating, chatting, drinking, having some drinks, and Richard really gave me already, told me what he's going to do, and I said, this is impossible. You come from a totally other industry. He came from Atrasimca. He was an engineer working in aeronautics and different other things. And I said, this is almost impossible. You can't do this. And he did it. Richard Mille, the hype will continue because more and more people want to have a Richard Mille. More and more people are seen to wear one, so more and more people are going to copy this trend and want to have one. There are also watches now on the second-hand market you can buy, so more people will wear one. More there will be demand for it because there are people enough on the earth who can afford one. So, and I know that the production is limited at Richard Mille because the manufacturing of those watches is pretty difficult. Also, sourcing the movements is quite a pain in the you know where. And so these watches, the hype will stay, and I guarantee you that these watches will stay on the wrists of the super rich of this world and all of those who want to play in that club. So it will continue the hype. Maybe this is, I hope that I could answer the question. Yeah, show off your collection. No, sir, I will never do this. I will give you a few ideas which watches I have in my collection, but I will never do this. Alexander, are you a runner? If so, how often do you run? Yes, I run. I enjoy running whenever I want to run because it's fun and it's good for health, so I'm really enjoying it. Are you going to act as if the Audemars Piguet code 11.59 didn't come out this year? Are we going to act? No, we are not going to act as if the code 1159 came out this year because I was defending the watch already during the SIH because I really was fed up with the bashing that went on, that was started through different sources online, with Shame on the Wrist, who on Instagram was one of the first to post, and others who really simply went on bashing and writing silly things. Audemars Piguet wanted to create a new collection. They did it. And unfortunately, they weren't smart enough to show the watches under the right angle, and they were choosing a wide dial, and they were taking a so-called soldier picture where you see the watch from the front. And yeah, this made this poor 11.59 look a bit weird or cheap or whatever you might call it. But no one of those in the early days who were writing, or all those who were writing, let me call it bullshit, had the watch on the wrist. I took some time at the SIHH, some extra time. I had them on the wrist and I really liked them. And these watches will evolve, and the collection 11.59 will be integrated into the other collections of Audemars Piguet and make its way. I have no doubt about it. They have probably learned about some mistakes. Maybe the hands could change. They are really a little bit small. But this is a watch that will make its way. I have no doubt, and we are not going to act as if the AP code 11.59 didn't come out this year. No way. And believe me, this collection in a couple of years will be successful. I have been listening very much to what jewelers said about the watch, and they are those who know their clients best, and the reactions from some of the biggest jewelers, some of the really, those who really know their business because they're running big chains and they have big stores in Switzerland and Germany and other parts of the world. They all said that's a stunner. And if they do so, they know why. And I guarantee you they weren't wrong. So, okay. Didn't Seiko win when they almost destroyed the Switch? What a question. Why did Seiko win? They were coming with a new technology. They were able to manufacture cheaper than the Swiss could do in Switzerland. These were not mechanical watches. It was the invasion of Quartz, the Quartz technology that almost killed the Swiss watch industry. But it was in an area where everybody, when I was young and looking into the shop windows where they displayed those Quartz LCD watches, I wanted to have one, and everybody wanted to have one. And this is the reason why you were the first time having a watch on your wrist that did so many things more than just a mechanical wristwatch. And the coming back and the rebirth of the mechanical wristwatch was due to some visionaries like Jean-Claude Biber after the Quartz crisis, but Seiko didn't win at all. And if they would have won, they should have done it with the right weapons, with a mechanical wristwatch, and they didn't do so. This question is now answered, and if someone calls me, yeah, Seiko boys will come and get you, Alex. I know, because I did some, I didn't say the right things about Seiko. I know. But who cares? I'm going to be a huge hit on the coming. Michael Freeland, is the code 11.59 going to be a huge hit in the coming years? I probably think so, because Benamias, the CEO, François Benamias, is not an idiot at all. He's a smart guy, and he has clever team, and I guarantee you they are going to push that watch, and they are going to make it a success. He is not going to lose this battle against those who have been bashing. Rexhep, oh, that's the name I never can pronounce. Rexhappy. Chronometre Contemporain shows what independent watchmaking is capable to do. Yes. He calls him a rock star. He is a rock star. I have a lot of respect for these little guys, and you have to, but keep them as what they are. They are niche players. They are independent watchmakers. Don't compare them to huge manufacturers. Don't compare them to manufacturers who produce 10, 15, 100,000 or more watches a year. This is really something special. They are artisans. They are artists. They are something totally different in many ways. The only, let's say, micro brands I would see as competitors to the big ones, or brands that the big ones should take seriously, that's Moser, that's Max Plus and Friends, and in a certain way also Ressence, because what Ressence is doing with his watches is simply gorgeous. I have respect, but keep them in the niche where they belong to. They are niche watchmakers. Sengo, grüß aus Zürich, grüezi in Zürich. Thoughts on a deep sea versus a planet ocean? Oh, very difficult, very difficult. The deep sea for me has one flaw. I'd simply see too many of them on the wrists. In terms of technology, I would say both are perfectly done. If I would have to make a choice in between a deep sea and a planet ocean, I would go for the planet ocean because I'm an Omega fan. That's something I don't want to hide. The deep sea for me is a little bit too bulky. It's a little bit too big, and it's a watch mostly worn to show off and not to be worn in the water. And the planet ocean, for the same purpose, makes a better figure on your wrist in terms of what Rolex was doing with the deep sea technology, the waterproofness, the capability of that watch to really take, let's say, to resist anything you're doing with it is you simply have to say respect. But in general, this watch, it's a watch I would wear maybe if I would be a diver and if I would really use it for diving, but it won't be a watch I will wear for an average day use because it's simply too big, too bulky. And if someone who wears such a watch, it's for show-off reasons, and that's not the reason. Yeah, that's my personal opinion. Okay. Gloria Run says, hi Alex, love your chats. Hi Gloria, it's fun to have you here. Hello. Hello from Notting Hill, very good, London, Stephen UK1. Hello Stephen, good to have you. Then let's continue. Thoughts on the new IWC Spitfire line. Let me say who asked. Stefan, maybe you will tell us from where you are, Stefan. The new IWC Spitfire line was, honestly speaking, the Spitfire was never my big favorite when it comes to the declination of Flieger watches. Why? For me, a typical pilot's watch or Flieger from IWC has a black or let's say a very, very dark dial, luminous markers on it, luminous hands in the sense of there's a strong contrast. The watch has a purpose. It's a watch that is being built for pilots. And those IWC Spitfire watches, in my opinion, are too much lifestyle watches. They were brought on the market by Georges Kern at the time being because he wanted to open a new segment for those who didn't want those instrumental look watches, who wanted to buy a more a watch that also fits perfectly when they're wearing a suit or wearing a jacket. I'm not a big fan of the Spitfire, honestly speaking. If you go for the pilots line of IWC, buy the traditional ones. They are so cool watches. They have a huge history. These watches really are part of the Swiss watch industry history, and they date back in the 1930s when they were built first time for the pilots. So this is what IWC pilot should look like. If you were not reporting on the watch industry, what would you be doing? I would be a journalist working with cars. I am a big petrol head, I have to admit. So if I would not do watches, I would do cars. Now I would probably have a problem with all these electric cars. I'm really a petrol head. I also drive an old timer also an old timer rallies on regularities. So I'm a really big fan of cars, and so what I would do cars probably. Yes, that would be mine. Yes, cars. Then can't get behind Seiko either. Okay. It's cool. Stephen UK. Wait, it's jumped away again. This is, I touch my mouse, you see, slowly, and then the line, the live chat is moving out of my picture. Any plans to increase the amount of content next year? Yes, we are hardly working on it. It's now also a question that we have to finance ourselves. We are working on everything to bring in money to the channel, and to bring more content online, of course. And as soon as everything is done, yes, we are planning to do much more content. And I'm also my dream is to build up a team slowly, that I have more people working, not only me making videos. I'm looking forward to have some enthusiasts as me and the team to have their videos online too. Yes, we're working on it. In the moment, everything is a question of money, and but we are pretty on a good way so far. We are financing ourselves, and this is a good sign. So we don't need. We are not endangered, but doing well so far, but we can't make bigger jumps than we're doing in a moment. So this was an honest answer. And if there's if there is someone out there who is interested to participate in our channel, or has an idea who probably would like to participate in our channel, or bring in someone who wants to bring in some money, become a silent partner whatsoever, we're open for everything. The goal is to really establish Watch Advisor to be your channel, to bring that content online that you want to see, to share the passion that we all have, that this passion is watches, is watchmaking, I wanted to say, watches. And everybody who wants to participate is more than welcome. The most important thing is tell your friends and neighbors and all those who are probably interested in watches to subscribe to our channel. This helps very much also to find investors, and also to convince partners to jump in and help us to grow what we are doing. Yes. Then 11:15, Stephen UK1 again said 11:59 is well made, great build quality, but the watch design just isn't good enough. Sorry. Yes, this is your personal opinion. I agree, but please give the watch another chance in terms of weight, what the second edition will be, and then we will judge, and we will see if the watches are beautiful or ugly. One question: did you ever have 11:59 really on your wrist? Did you look at it, and did you did you see it from all the angles? Did you take time, and did you have the chance to do that? This is also something I always tell you: do it before with any watch. It's not only due to the 11:59. I recommend to do that with all watches. So. Hast du auch einen deutschsprachigen Kanal? Can go? No, there is no German. No German. We are staying in English, and this helps a lot to be international. Yes. The best watch for me still has to be the Grandmaster Chime from Patek Philippe, sold at the only watch auction, 31 million for a steel watch is crazy, and the fact is that the charity makes it perfect. Yes, this is one kind of a watch, and there was a lot of goodwill behind. No doubt about this. The Grandmaster Chime is a fantastic timepiece, and selling a steel watch for such a price is simply stunning. And if those who followed the auction and saw Thierry Stern, he was really almost speechless. And also Prince Albert from Monaco, from Monte Carlo, was there, and who is the head of the foundation. So it was a nice event, and yes, it's cool to do that. It's a cool watch, no doubt. What do you think about Obsidian Order asks me, what do you think about the Tag Heuer Monaco caliber 11? I'm pretty close to pull the trigger. Let me say something. The Tag Heuer Monaco is such a cool watch. It has so much history. This is kind of, there are a few watches, if we look back in the history of the chronograph. And this is a watch that belongs absolutely to those superstars who made history in terms of being a chronograph. We can take the Speedmaster, the Daytona, the Monaco. We can take the Zenith El Primero and some other watches, but they all belong to the same club, and this is a gorgeous watch. So pull that trigger, do it, bang, pull it. I would say, go. It's a really cool watch, and Tag Heuer is a brand that in the moment is a little bit quiet. Unfortunately, after Jean-Claude Biber left the brand, the new management is a little bit too quiet for me. So we are losing a little bit what they're doing, but that should not prevent you buying the watch. And I'm a big fan of the Monaco. I really like it. And as I told you, if you're not aware of the history, go and see what Jack Heuer at the time being did with the pilots to give them the watches, and he was such a cool guy. Check out the history. There's a book about Jack Heuer. Check out the history, read a little bit, go back in these years, and you will be a big fan of the watch. If you haven't seen the movie yet about Le Mans 69, go and see it. This is the ambience. This is what you feel and what it was at the time being when all these watches came out, and they're legendary watches. Good. Laura, just kidding. I vote for Platinum Speedmaster. Oh yes, the 321. I'm looking forward to see it finally. This is an absolutely cool timepiece. I'm really for me as a Speedmaster collector, when I heard that Omega is redoing the 321, wow, I said, okay, that's really a cool move, a cool step, and yes, very cool. I'm voting too, and there's applause, Andre Philippe Gomez, and you get my additional applause for the watch. Yes. Let's be honest, the only AP watches that are selling are the Royal Oak models. Even the offshore is less popular nowadays. Yes, this is true, and this is the biggest problem Audemars Piguet had for years now, and the management with François Benamias is working on the problem. And yeah, the Royal Oak is simply a stunner. You can't discuss the watch. There's nothing to say. Pause. No. Happy New Year from New Zealand, Alexander. Calibre 3135. Oh my goodness, New Zealand is online. I'm happy to have you here. All the best wishes back from Vienna, Austria to New Zealand. You are going to be one of the first to jump right into 2020 tomorrow. So think about me. I will think about you tomorrow when we are celebrating the 000 and 2020 will start. What Richard Mille has, Stephen UK1 says, what Richard Mille has done is unbelievable if you think about it. New, fresh designs, creating implementation of latest build technology. So true, so true. And there is a phenomenon also, Richard Mille, since he's selling those watches like we buy. I don't know what we go. We go in the supermarket and buy some candies or some food, and he's selling those watches like crazy to pet. It's simply incredible what Richard Mille has been doing. Do you think the Rolex Prince Cellini? This jumps away always. Do you think the Rolex Prince Cellini is underrated? Yeah, because it's not a Rolex in the end. It's part of the collections, but this is not what someone expects. I think if you are looking for a very sophisticated dress watch, the Cellini is a very good option. The Prince is very special indeed, but this is not what people expect from Rolex, because they have learned over all the years that oyster, and oyster is the Rolex and not Prince or not Cellini. That's the problem, probably. So, will Rolex have any models in the cases of Basel 2020 will be empty? Anyhow, I can tell you something. All the watches that Rolex is having in the cases in Basel, they don't have a movement. Most of the watches they are using to show their retailers don't have a movement. They only have a collection for the press and for some special clients. And I'm sure Jean-Fred Dufour, the CEO, will probably have a collection in his booth or in his room, in the booth where there will be functioning watches. But most of the watches in shop windows don't have a movement. And since the bottleneck of Rolex are the movements, I think they will be able to fill up those little windows again. And this one particular window, when you are standing in front of the Rolex booth, There's where you go in, there is at the right side one window, and always there are unveiling their novelty, and all those like me, crazy guys, wanting to be the first one to report about the watch are standing in front of the window, and the press ladies from Rolex and all the Rolex management comes out with a big smile, and they are waiting to see our eyes and our first reactions. What are we saying? And they come closer to listen. What are we saying? And this is always one of the very particular moments at the Rolex booth or the Rolex town. It's like a little, it's like a little village in that hall 1.0, and I will be standing there once again on Wednesday when at around 1300 they're always unveiling this. There's a curtain, a gray curtain, going up, and then you see the Rolex at the end. I'm sure there will be one this year too. Yes, Eric Lee retracted the message. Okay. Captain Z, what do you think might be the IWC from 2020? This is a difficult question because Christophe Granger last year announced that he will change a little bit the system of bringing all year again one big collection back. He's more working on a different concept, and I have not been talking to him recently, so I can't tell you if he is again continuing to rotate novelties as Georges Kern did it the last years, where we knew we had the Flieger, and then we had the divers, and then we had the Portuguesa, and then we had the Portofino, and then again, so we had that rotation, and the Da Vinci. I don't know, probably I don't know. Maybe he's more focusing on developing all of the collections. Taking out some of the references to have smaller and more meaningful collections. I don't know. We will have to see. Oh, again, at least Audemars Piguet had the conviction to bring out an all-new watch in 1159, unlike others who just the same styles and different steps. This is true. Ian SPA said this. I agree, Ian. If this is your first name, I agree. That's true. At least they dared, and they did something that was a little bit, kind of thinking out of the box. I'm the highest in the room. Okay, whatever you wanted to tell me. Did you smoke something, or what did you do? Eric Lee, what's your 2020 plans, Alexander, to bring as much as content to you folks out there? My plans are to evolve what we're doing, to make all the videos better, to bring you more interesting content, to improve my my skills when it comes to make live reportages that we did. Some people were complaining about my English. I didn't use the appropriate terms. I'm learning. Yes, many of those things are those things I want to do in 2020 to stay fit, healthy, of course, to take care of the beloved ones and so on. Yes, these are all the things I want to do. Mike Burkhardt, hey, Mike, that's a pleasure to see you here. Hi, Alexander. If you could only wear one watch for the rest of your life, which one would you pick and why? Greetings from Andermatt. Oh, you're lucky. You are in Andermatt, probably skiing. Easy answer. I would pick one of my Omega Speedmasters. Why? Because it was the first watch I bought for money I earned at the days. It's a watch I love its history. The watch was good enough to fly to the moon, to walk, to be worn on the moon. So probably wherever I would go, the Speedmaster will be a good companion for me. That will be the watch I would take, an Omega Speedmaster, the very classical, traditional Omega Speedmaster. Yes, David Levine, really anxious to find out the price point of that Moser pilot's watch with the blue face. Hey, it's 13,900 Swiss francs. People, may I be Or may you all be so kind when you are watching one of my videos, our videos, to be also so much interested to go into the description of the video. I do write a lot of things in the description of the videos always. I know it's not YouTube-like to read because YouTube is video and you expect that everything is mentioned in the video, but it's impossible to mention everything in the video, especially when it comes to technical data and so on. I put a lot of content and a lot of energy also in the descriptions of the video. So please, if you are so kind, the best audience in the world out there, as I think you are, be so kind and from time to time do also have a little look on the descriptions of the videos, and you will find a lot of additional information I have not been giving you in the video. So the price for the Moser is 13,900 Swiss francs, including the Swiss VAT. Yes, I'm excited for 2020. Me too, who not? Then welche IWC? Someone is asking, Sengo, who asked me first if there's a German blog. Unfortunately not. He's asking in German, which of the IWC watches I can recommend. The Portuguesa, the Big Pilot, the Aqua Timer. It's depending, we are not talking about the same watches because the Portuguesa is more an elegant watch, the Aqua Timer is a diver, and the Pilot's watch is a pilot's watch. This is very much depends on you, what you like or what you don't like. For me, the Portuguesa is an absolutely beautiful, stunning icon. I like it very much. Concerning the Flieger, I just talked about earlier here, I like very much those traditional Fliegers with the dark or black dial, not so much the Spitfire ones. And concerning the Aqua Timer, honestly speaking, is not my cup of coffee. I'm not a big fan of the Aqua Timer at all, but this is due to the design and due to other issues. I'm not a fan of the Aqua Timer. I like the Ingenieur, and hopefully Christoph Granger here, if you are hearing me, Christoph, please. He's the CEO, by the way, of IWC Schaffhausen. And if Christoph is by coincidence, he's not watching, of course not, but if he probably will get this sequence because someone will send him the sequence, Christoph, please bring out the classical Ingenieur as IWC Schaffhausen manufactured it in the 1970s. This is the Jumbo, the SL. These are the reference 666. These are so beautiful watches. Bring them out again, please. Okay. Is the Air Command? Hi, Alexander. Red Articles asking me. Hi, Alexander. I think even before Quartz, Grand Seiko, High Beat, Zenit and Omega in the 1968, Neuchâtel Observatory, Concourse, the Geneva competitors, their results were cancelled. I don't know that story. Sorry, I can't say anything. We should discuss this maybe another time. This is crazy today. Every time I'm touching my mouse, your chats are almost jumping out of my sight. Okay, here. BS or Bertha Bravo Sierra, the abbreviation, is the Air Command your favorite 2019 release from Blancpain? Yes, it is. They also came out with a 50 Phaeton Barracuda, yes. And the Nageur de Combat, that's a watch that was referring to the divers that were building the watch for Blancpain at the time being Capitaine Colombier and his team, the Nageur de Combat, and they did this watch as a limited edition for the Nageur de Combat, those swimmers, those, how you call them in English, they are not Navy SEALs because the Navy SEALs also fight on land, but those specialized members of the Navy that were combat swimmers or combat divers. Yeah, combat divers, that's the word. And they have a version out. But my favorite Blancpain of this year, in fact, is without doubt the Air Command. This is also not a coincidence. I've been choosing the Air Command from the backside. If you are looking on the thumbnail of that video or of the live chat I've been announcing, you see the back of the of the Air Command. So, Marvi, Hema, hello, Alexander. What do you think about the Tudor Blancpain Steel and Gold? The most impressive watch of 2019 for me is the Omega Apollo 8. So, the Tudor Blancpain Steel and Gold is a very nice watch. Yeah, I can't say anything else. It's steel and gold is becoming very attractive these days, and it's not full gold. They are, what's the word for that? You asked me too quickly, my friend. The bezel of the watch is made in gold, but the gold used on the bracelet is only there's steel, and the gold is outside. There's an expression for it. Maybe someone will help me and type it in. It's called I don't know the word, I'm sorry, but I like the watch. Price wise it's very attractive. The design is attractive also, and yes, the watch of the year 2019, Omega Apollo 8. Okay, yeah. That's a beautiful one. Apollo 8 is, the Apollo 8 with the dial, and the way they did the dial and opened it, and they lasered the, they've been lasering on the bridges and on the, on some parts of the movement, that type of lunar surface, gorgeous, yeah. I agree. My number one problem with 1159 is that it is not steel. Yes, maybe there will be steel in the future. Stephen UK1 again. I did not try it on. Yes, great build quality, but things locks or touch. Yeah, but try it on. I would really recommend you try the watch, and maybe you will change your mind. Do yourself a favor. Don't look only at the watch under artificial light, but also natural light, and you will probably find out that the watch is much beautifuler than you think. Is the Omega with the 3-to-1 being released as a coaxial? That's a good question. No, I don't think so. They're doing it. They are staying traditional with a classical Swiss lever skip, and I don't think they're doing it. What is the best watch of 2019? Herb is asking the question, what is the best watch of 2019 within 1,000 and 3,000 Swiss francs or US dollars or euros? It's almost the same these days. Honestly speaking, I would have a closer look at all the Swatch Group brands, Tissot, Hamilton, Certina, Mido, Longines. They're offering incredible value for money. You could also have a look at Tudor. You can have a look at Tag Heuer, some of the watches. You can, I would say the best watch is the one you like most in the price range. And what I always say when it comes to such things, when I'm asked, if you have the possibility, compare the watch you think you like most with the quality of a watch that has been manufactured under the roof of Swatch Group for the same amount of money. And if the quality of the watch you like is on the same level of the Swatch Group watch, then you buy it. If not, I would not buy it. Then I would probably consider to look for something else, and to also think about making quality a point and not only design. And in terms of quality, what Swatch Group actually is doing is unbeatable. You can't do better for less money. They are really working like crazy to bring out watches in an even better and better quality all the time for almost no more money. And this is something I have to say, and someone recently just said to me, if I am on the payroll of Swatch Group, no, I'm not. I'm just an observer. I'm just seeing, discovering, looking, listening, touching, feeling, comparing. And I have to say, what Swatch Group is offering these days is simply amazing. No doubt about this. Robert Sullivan. Hi, Alexander. Robert, very good evening. In fact, the most excited possibility, J. Paul is writing. In fact, the most excited for the possibility of the rebooted Calatrava range. I have tremendous interest in high-ology, in steel, and no interest in 1970s sports luxe. Bring the steel classics. Yeah, why not? It's always good to have steel classics. Yeah, some of the steel classics would be nice. Yeah, could be nice. But I think if we are talking about Patek Philippe and steel, it will continue to be rare. The Patek is making steel watches. I'm pretty sure. Stephen UK1 again says, I really like the Rolex Prince Cellini. Is the only Rolex I want. Moser is a brand that is really impressive, like Moser a lot. Thank you very much for saying this and sharing this. Anyhow, I would recommend many of you to have a closer look at Moser, what he is doing, Edouard Milan. That's really nice. Okan Ergin from Istanbul. Hello, and yes, greetings back here from Vienna. Do you think this is a Sway Zor? Do you think Tudor will release a GMT version of the Blancpain 58 since they built a completely new movement for it? Why not? Why not? Why not? So this could be an option. Why not? Yes. The movement they built is in-house, as you know. The chronograph Tudor is moving comes from Breitling, but they changed the escapement. They are using a silicon hairspring instead of the classical Nivarox escapement hairspring. And yes, and therefore the Tudor is delivering the automatic movement to Breitling, and Breitling is using it in parallel with the ETA and Celita movements. Yes, so I expect them to bring some more attractive watches out, and I know that they are pushing on Tudor quite a lot in the moment, and they are trying to increase those figures. They are around less than 200,000 watches, but I know that they are trying to increase the brand a lot. 2020 is going to be interesting in Basel. I hope something very good happens. Would be a shame to lose Basel. Just needs to meet the demands for new age. Very complex theme, honestly, to talk about Basel. We could make another chat only about Basel and what you expect about Basel. Very, very complicated and very frustrating for me to see what's happening there, honestly. Yes, it jumped away again. I hate my mouse today. Hi, Alexander from Spain, Monteagudo. Buenas tardes. Juan Olmos asks me, what do you think of the Breitling Premier line? Yes, the Panda line, the Premier line with the Panda dial is a beautiful watch. I have to agree. All the watches with Panda dials are beautiful. I think this is because we are so stupid human beings, and we simply like this look of a Panda. It reminds us of young of animals, of pandas, of kids, it's us. I think it's in the brain. Steven Porzensky, love IWC Portofino. Yes, a very elegant watch. Michael Freeland, so you have an accent. Do not worry. Picking on people for how they talk is bully. Yeah, thank you very much. I do have an accent. I'm working hard on my English. Yes, it would be probably more easy for me to talk in German. I would probably even talk much quicker than I do now, because sometimes in German I talk so quick that people don't understand me anymore. But never mind, I will continue working on my English, promised. Samuel Keller asked me, hi, what do you think happens with the Datejust 41 in steel in 20? I have no idea. I can't tell you. because Rolex is good for any surprise and good for anything else. So I can't tell you honestly. I can't tell you, and I don't want to lean out of the window and say things I can't, that are wrong in the end. What Edwin Chop wants to know: what do you think of internet brands like Christopher Ward? Honestly speaking, not very much. Not enough history, not enough background, not enough of many things. I would not want to buy a watch that has been invented a couple of months, years, or weeks ago, being pushed up with a lot of marketing, where some smart guys are buying cases, maybe also in China or in Thailand, pull in some pretty expensive Swiss movements, get the Swiss made later on, or whatever, German made, Swiss made, made in Germany, made in UK, whatever. I'm not a fan of all these things, honestly. I would recommend you all out there, buy from traditional brands, buy watches that have history, buy watches that have gone through emotional stories and so on. And yeah, that's my very personal opinion here. Bravo Sierra, the abbreviation. Hey Alex, how many languages do you speak? Don't worry about those criticizing your English. Those people probably just speak one language, which is English. Je parle français, si tu veux savoir. Parlo anche italiano, si lo voglio sapere. I speak English, and ja, ich spreche auch Deutsch. I speak 4 languages in total. What do you think about the Rolex Explorer 39 MK2? Yes, beautiful, no doubt, no doubt. You talking about the Explorer, bringing in the Explorer, it could be that next year from Rolex we are going to see a new Explorer. Could be, because they have been redoing almost all the watches now, bringing back even the Pepsi. And the Explorer is one of the last icons that they have not touched so far. The only thing that is missing, maybe let's look let's say something. Yeah, Explorer could be the watch that is the novelty of 2020 at Rolex. Could be. By reading this, you just gave me an idea. Yes. Quote me in case that I was already 8:15 on the 30th of December 2019, talking about Explorer being the new the novelty of Rolex. Robert Sullivan, what exactly is Watch Advisor? How big are you guys, and are you associated with Watch Advisor? Is a group of watch aficionados. We all have invested money in the company. We're building up the company, and I am in charge of the content, and I am building up this YouTube channel to entertain you out there, to create a big and international community. We can do plenty of things together in the future. The team is quite small. We have our investors. We have an advisory board. Most of the investors are also part of the advisory board. Actively in the moment, it's me, it's my cameraman Jorge. I have a second cameraman who's called Christian. I will have someone who's called Patrick in Switzerland, who will take over Instagram very soon to rebuild our Instagram channel. We have been abusing it a little bit and not taking care too much of our Instagram account, because I was very much focusing on what I'm doing here on YouTube. And the team is pretty small. We have Valery Stepanov, one of our founders, and Olaf Eichstätt, one of our founders, who are pretty active in the company, but the team is pretty small, and we are growing now. We are happy with what we have been able to do so far. And yes, the next steps are on their way. So I hope this was pretty in short what I could say. In the future, Bob Builder ask me in the future, can you include a full set of measurements for each unit in the description, including lug to lug? Yes, I know. The lug to lug distance is something very interesting. I learned this from your comments, and I will. I promise you that I will bring more of measurements and more such details. Sometimes it's hard to get them because the companies don't have them officially, because they don't take care of these measurements. So what we will have to do in the future, we will probably have to lay the watches down and measure them, or film them beside film them in a way that you can yourself discover how big or small they are. We will think about some of solutions, how we could do this. Lusso, what would you say is the one watch brand to look at in 2020, excluding Rolex? Good question. I would very much look into Panerai next year. I've seen what they have in the pipeline. This will be pretty interesting. I would also look into Jaeger-LeCoultre. I would look into Omega again. I'm sorry to say this, but Omega is so attractive. What they are planning and what they are having in the pipeline. I would look in the entry price level very much into what Lange is doing, or Hamilton is doing, what Cetina, what they are doing. They are coming again with an innovation of attractive watches. Also consider if you're looking in or looking for luxury steel sport watch, to have a look probably at Girard-Perregaux, a brand that is very, very much underestimated these days. Too far, too quiet. Everything they do is like if they wouldn't exist. It's a pity, and I would even call it a shame. There is one CEO handling Ulysse Nardin and Girard-Perregaux, and that isn't the way one should do it. If you like design, ultra thin watches and more world records, you should probably have a look at Bulgari. Bulgari is astonishing me every year, again and again, by bringing out very interesting watches. In general, have a look at everything. I'm joking. It's so hard. It's really hard. But some of those I mentioned, I think, are really interesting. Yes. Hello, everyone from Riyadh. Hello. What do you think about the Cartier Santos? The Cartier Santos is a stunning, beautiful watch. And if we look back, we have to say the Cartier Santos was the first pilot watch. So it was the watch that Louis Cartier built for his friend Alberto Santos Dumont when he was performing his first solo flights with an engine-driven, self-built kind of plane. And it was a stunningly beautiful watch for the time, and it was because Alberto Santos Dumont asked his friend Louis Cartier, please build me a watch I can wear on a wrist to see how long I will fly. So yes, the Santos line of Cartier is for me a beautiful watch, and unfortunately, Cartier has messed up a little bit in the last years and has been building not enough masculine watches, and they should really speed up doing this. Let's the overseas beautiful watch. Vacheron will ever release the overseas 222? I don't know. I can't tell you. I'm not so sure if Vacheron will dare to do a replica of the 222. I can't tell you. It's a very particular watch if you figure out the design. So I honestly, I can't tell you if they are daring doing this. I don't know. Maybe they come out with an interpretation, but if they come out with an interpretation, it is going to disrupt the design of the overseas collection. So I'm not sure. Hello, Alexander. What do you think about the continued rise in watch prices? Are they justified? Thanks for your YouTube channel, Moncho. Montegudo, the rising watch prices, do you mean the official prices or those that are asked on the parallel market or on the gray market? If we're talking about the prices on the parallel gray market, I totally I find them stupid, silly. Everyone who is thinking about buying a watch there, please don't wait, buy something else, save the money, don't buy double of a price for a watch you can't get in an official retailer. And concerning the prices of the watches in general, they have pretty much stabilized in the last years. The watches, we didn't see so much rises in prices. Recently, Rolex, yes, is now again rising the prices. We know that. We have heard that about 7-8%, what I've heard. So yeah, it's difficult to say. You have to adapt sometimes due to change to the change of currencies. But in general, what we have seen in the last years is that you get much more quality or much more watch for the quality for the money you buy. Okay, let me quickly continue here, please. Your opinion on regards on the IWC UTC Bronze, Dr. A und B, Dr. A und B, A and B, UTC in Bronze. I would, honestly speaking, being here, IWC, not have done it. Considering the fact that I think that bronze is a material that should be used with a watch that is by or in the sea or has to do something with sea. Bronze is a material that has been taken from ships. The idea to use bronze as a case material has been taken from ships, from Panerai. And the watches look good, no doubt, but on a Flieger, on a pilot's watch, I'm not so convinced, honestly speaking. I prefer the UTC in a steel case than being in a bronze case. Speaking of Blancpain, please tell them to release a 40mm unlimited 50 fathoms and bring back the Le Mans Amar al-Shaya. I hope I pronounced it correctly. In case I did not, please don't blame me. Yes, Mark Haig knows that he should launch some smaller 50 fathoms. He did this only in limited editions and bring back the Le Mans. This would be a hit, I know. The Le Mans watches are so cool. I have to say I own one. I don't tell you which one, but Le Mans was a crazy, cool watches at the time being. Yes, they should bring back. You did state Moser price. Thank you, John McDonough. What is this here? Herb, rolled gold over wrapped gold. Yeah, rolled gold or wrapped gold. Yes, rolled gold. Thank you very much. Thank you for helping me out. This is what they're doing on the steel and gold Black Bay at Tudor. In German is Käppchengold. I didn't know the expression in English. Käppchengold. Okay. Caped, yes, caped. Caped is also an expression, a correct expression. Gold-plated, no, gold-plated is something different. It's not the same. Gold-plated means that you are applying on a steel surface a certain micron layer of gold, and caped is that you're really like wrapping around gold on a steel interior. That's different. Blancpain is a beautiful watch. Unfortunately, it will always be in the shadow of Breguet for internal political reasons in the Swatch group. No, this is not true. This is not true. I would say Mark Haig is treating both brands equally, and both brands are totally differently positioned. So besides the Type 20 of Breguet that is interfering into the segment of Blancpain, but the rest of the Breguet collection is totally different to what Blancpain is doing. So I don't think that there is a reason to be afraid that they are positioning Breguet above and Blancpain. No, I don't think so. Yes, Herb is writing that Tudor isn't gold-plated, it's gold-wrapped. Correctly, that's what I just said. Obad is writing, if Vacheron Constantin will ever re-release a 222, it will be a jackpot for Vacheron. Could be, but it's a very particular design, in fact, but it could be, yes. People are looking for these watches. You might be right, you might be right. Shah Lusso wants to know what are excuse me, guys. I have to jump in. Someone, Neo, used a super chat and he spent $3.99. Thank you very much for doing this. Have you ever followed Archie Luxury? Ladies and gentlemen, I did once. I started a video and the guy was shouting at me and I stopped the video. That's my story with Archie Luxury. Honestly speaking, I don't follow him. I was not really. It was the video where he was bashing Panerai or IWC because they entered in Hong Kong or somewhere the store with shorts and they weren't treated correctly. I don't know. Whatever, no, so Theo, you got my answer. No, I'm not following Archie. So let's go back. Let's go back. The best watches, where is that? Yeah. What are your thoughts on the Zenith Chronomaster 2? Definitely the Chronomaster 2 is a gorgeous watch. It does really, the Chronomaster 2 showed that Zenith is able also to sell a cool, trendy watch. In terms of movement, it's fantastic. In terms of look, I like it very much, even though I'm not such a big fan of open dials, but I like it, and I have to say, I know people from Zenith a little, and they tell me that they're really selling it, and they have problems to deliver the right quantities to the market. So this is one of the blockbusters of Zenith, and it features, of course, the famous the El Primero movement. That's a very nice one. Then what do we have here? Please tell me what is the best everyday watch under 3,000 to 4,000. I need a hefty steel watch with a bracelet. I recommend you to have a look at Certina divers. I recommend you the Certina from Swatch Group, Certina divers. Have a look at them, the DS models. You will be astonished what you get for your money. Really astonished. Do also look on some of the watches of Lange on steel bracelet, freehand watches. Do look, if you want, on what could you else look? Yeah, no, I honestly have to say, go and check out those Swatch Group brands. They are really delivering for that amount of money. You really get the best value for money. And if you want to really make a bargain or a good deal, check out the Certina diver. You will be amazed what you get for the money. You will be amazed. Funny when I used what is it? The best and G point is saying the best watch is the watch that hurts most. The best watch is the watch that hurts most. I'm thinking. I don't get the point here. What are your thoughts on a Patek? Always good. Patek is always fine. Patek is always good. Whatever reference you are naming, Patek is gorgeous. If you have the chance to get one, go. If it's not a question of Patek or Patek, it's a question of which design from Patek you like most. Swatch Group over Tudor. Swatch Group over Tudor. Tudor over Swatch Group. I would say Swatch Group is performing better than Tudor, because Tudor is a niche, let's say, call it a niche. They have a variety of some models, and if you take the entry price level of Swatch Group, they offer everything from elegant to watches for rough and rough use. So I think that's pretty my opinion. But Tudor is very much attacking with what they are doing. Tag Heuer, they are attacking Omega, they are attacking Lange, they are attacking Breitling, and so we will have to very closely watch what Tudor is doing in the next years. And they are really aggressive in terms of price. They are gorgeous in terms of quality, but this is almost the same what the Swatch Group brands are delivering. Michael Freeland, I follow him on Instagram, great account. Okay, best watch to get. I don't know. Oh, in Hawaii, the best watch. I don't know. Hawaii. I think you should. I think you should go for a watch that is waterproof and that you can use on all the purposes you're doing in Hawaii. And I assume that you are in contact very much with water, so probably get a watch that is exceptionally waterproof and will have no problem to go swimming, surfing, diving, whatever you're doing there. I Love Hamilton, create a mechanical reissue of the military chrono. Paolo Zucchetti is writing, yes, they're doing it. They're waiting for the now slimmer chronograph movement that will be delivered from ETA very soon to them. It's a movement they have ordered, and that will be exclusively reserved for them. Good. So about the Breguet, this is Herb. Do you think? Herb asks me. No, first. Farhan. Hello, Farhan. You were saying hello, Alexander, and I say hello, Farhan. Then Samuel Keller said, what is your favorite modern day watch and your favorite antique? Oh, my favorite modern day watch, that's difficult. It depends on which mood I'm in. It's quite often an Omega watch, very often these days a Zenith. Depends on which mood I'm in. It's difficult to say. And my favorite antique. How antique is antique? Is it really antique, or are we talking about watches from the 70s, or this is kind of era? And if we're talking about this period, the 60s and 70s, it's the Omega Speedmaster once again. And I have to admit, I also I'm very much in love with the Zenith El Primero. Yes. Do you think? Herb asks me, do you think any of the Swatch groups stand out more than others? Do you mean if one of the brands is more particular or better or less good than the other? I don't think so, because they have been very cleverly installing or positioning their brands, and the overlays in between the brands is very small. So neither Lange is fishing in the segment of Omega, nor Omega is fishing in the segment of Blancpain, nor the other brands are fishing in their segment. So I think they are perfectly positioned as they are. What we not have yet, and this is what I want you to ask, this is what I'm asking you to tell us, is what is your favorite watch for 2019? We had some Vacherons, we had some Blancpains being named. Please, people, come out and tell me your 2019 favorites before I'm slightly start to finish this live chat now. Thoughts on the growth of luxury pre-owned watch market, Captain Z. The growth of luxury pre-owned, if it is the pre-owned in sense of that you are selling the watch to a retailer, the retailer will service the watch and give you a guarantee afterwards. This is a segment that will increase tremendously. because I think it's absolutely necessary that we watch collectors, we watch aficionados are able to bring our watch. For instance, Bucherer is doing this now, that you have a watch, you want to sell it, and then you can sell the watch with, let's say, a normal story, and you don't have to go to one of those parallel market dealers or gray market dealers, and they're always trying to pay you a nightmare, nothing for your watch, and telling you how useless and stupid your watch is, and then reselling it as the biggest, nicest, and most exciting watch they've ever seen. So I'm fed up with all this, and I'm looking forward that there will be an official mark, like with cars, you have pre-owned cars. Everybody, Mercedes-Benz, BMW, Audi, all the big car manufacturers have their used cars, and it's a big business that is integrated in the entire business, and it's no big deal to buy a used BMW whatsoever, be a Mercedes, Audi, Volkswagen, or what you want to name here. And it should be the same possibilities should be there for watches, that we can resell our watches, buy them, and that they have a guarantee, that the retailer has serviced them, has probably also taken care of the case, polished the bracelet, the bracelet if necessary. So if this once will be installed, and if once this will be something we can do on a regular and easy base, this will be fantastic. And I'm looking forward to see all these gray market and parallel market dealers to die slightly and gently, because they are absolutely I don't know, useless. There we go. Favre-Leuber, no opinion about Favre-Leuber, sorry. Gold capped, yes, Captain Z, that's the word for the Tudor, gold capped, yes. What do someone asked me, Okan Köpper is asking me, was hältst du von Ulysse Nardin? What do you think about Ulysse Nardin? Very sad. The brand is really losing control of itself. The brand is doing, I don't know, very disappointed about Ulysse Nardin, honestly speaking. If Rolf Schneider, who took over Ulysse Nardin and was the owner for many years before he so suddenly died, if Rolf would know that, he would, I think he would cry, honestly. Do you think it's crazy that Jaeger-LeCoultre is pronounced French, but where is it? But everyone just says it as it is written down. Look, Samuel Keller. I don't know if you were the one discussing with me this issue with Jaeger-LeCoultre. The family Jaeger is from the Elsass, and in the Elsass, that's close to the German border, there are many families, their name was Jaeger, and you pronounce not Jaeger-LeCoultre like the Frenchies would say. You continue, and I will continue, not you, you may do what you want, but I will continue to pronounce it Jaeger-LeCoultre. I say Jaeger in a more German way and LeCoultre in a French way, because LeCoultre, he is from the Vallée de Joux, and he is French, or was French, and this is a French part of Switzerland, and they speak French, so it's LeCoultre, not LeCoultre, whatever, and I will continue to say Jaeger-LeCoultre, and I will not say Jaeger or LeCoultre, whatever the Frenchies want to pronounce that brand. It's Jaeger-LeCoultre. You can discuss this. You can link me now to the guy who on another video, YouTube video, explains how to pronounce things, but the guy didn't do his homework, because he was not aware of the fact that the family Jaeger comes from the Elsass, and in the Elsass, German and French is spoken, and they for sure do not pronounce Jaeger. They are not doing it. Predictions for Rolex and Tudor 2020 from London, Jack Paul. Honestly speaking, I don't know. I was just thinking about, it could be the Explorer for Rolex, because we have not seen any new Explorers so far, and all the other models have been already represented in the new way. Tudor, probably some new small complications, maybe the reuse of the GMT movement and the chronograph in other cases. Jay Paul, hi from San Francisco. Hello, good to have you. Archie sniffs Knickers in front of camera sometimes, not very Patek man. Okay, Archie again. Okay. Jacob Gruntal, hello. Hey, that's good to have you here. Jacob, just want to wish you Happy New Year. The same to you. Very, very good to have you. Would you recommend Samuel Keller? Would you recommend people buying a Datejust in steel? And what do you think about the watch? A Datejust in steel is always a good choice. Why not? It's a watch that will keep its value. It's a watch that will not change in its design. It's perfectly watch. It's waterproof 100 meters. It's shockproof. It's not as anti-magnetic as the Omega so far. It's a good watch, a daily watch for wearing. Yes, I can't say anything else. Go for it if you want to. Again, the problem with my mouse gold. Here. Here. Edwin Chop, GLC Polaris, leather or steel bracelet? Rubber. I would take it on rubber. With steel, for me, the watch gets a little bit bulky. I'm a big fan of rubber straps if they are available, so I would go for the rubber. And in case I would have to choose in between leather and steel, I would go for leather. Looking forward to working with you on the Instagram channel. Greetings, Patrick. Yes. We will have big fun, my friend. I promise you, big fun. What's your take on micro branch such as Carlsen? Honestly speaking, I don't know Carlsen. So probably you have to send me some material about him. Neo says, Alex, as a journalist, which brands are hard to work with? Which are the easiest to work with? Today I'm in a fantastic position that I choose whom I want to work with. And those I'm working with are all very handy, are all very nice, very friendly. I have grown up with with the industry. I'm almost 30 years there, and many of the people who are now CEOs or in top management positions are close friends of mine in terms of that I know them for a very long time. I am talking to them as to a friend. I've opened doors. A little bit difficult is due to the fact, as it is, it's Rolex. I'm a good friend, a very good friend of Jean-Fred Dufour, who's the new CEO, but Rolex is an oyster, and this is part of the game. It's not hard to work with them. They're extremely friendly, extremely open-minded, everything, but they are limited in what they are allowed to say and what to do, and that's the brand telling them to do, and it's not a case of them not being friendly. I have a few brands I don't work at all with. These are some reasons because I simply don't like them, or I got pissed from them, or been treated badly. And this is a choice I have. And there are some brands they never show up here. It's personal reasons also, or why people really behaved very badly, or treated me badly, or took me as an idiot and tried to behave like idiots, and I don't like that. That's very simple. I'm a straightforward guy. If you come straightforward to me, you get a straightforward answer, and if you try to fool me, then it's quickly done and game over, and then it's game over. Hawaii time is always late, so no need for wearing a watch. Yay! This is the coolest. This is so cool. Aloha, my friend. This is so cool. The one with the abbreviation BS, like Bravo Sierra, says, Hawaii time is always late, so no need to wear a watch. Just look at the sun for the time. I would like to do that. Even right now. Yes, we have to finish. I look at the clock. It's 8:45. We are going to finish very soon. Guten Abend, Alexander. Someone says, what are you wearing today? I can tell you that's a Swatch Pay. I have just been explaining this before. I got it some days ago. I did use those holidays, those Pay, to install my credit card on it and to settle up the entire thing. I went to the Swatch store and they activated me, and I'm now wearing it to look if I can pay with it. My favorite steel Corne de Vache, 2019 favorite steel Corne de Vache. Yes, a very nice watch from Vacheron Constantin. Yes, I agree. Breguet Marine in steel, a rubber strap and blue romance. Yes, a very good one. Then Robert Sullivan says, if Blancpain came out with a non-limited edition 50 Phantoms, I'll buy it tomorrow. Yes, you mean the smaller one? Because the big ones or the regular ones are not limited. And so if you think about the limited editions, those with a smaller case size, yes, they are limited. Sorry. So once again, the question, what do you think about Seiko? I don't want to answer the question because I did it. Joining the chat late. Michael, OC, any group tours of watch manufacturing planned for 2020? Yes, in fact, we do. We planned one with Tag Heuer. This will be a very exciting adventure. 2 days in La Chaux-de-Fonds, the headquarters, and where I'm also working on it at Jack Heuer. The legend will join the group. I'm trying to bring something together with Glacé Original. They have agreed, and now I'm looking to bring or put something together that those who come to Dresden and will be brought then to Glacé will be able to see also Lange & Söhne, Nomos if they want, and Glacé Original, so we enjoy more brands there. But yes, we do, and it's part of what I plan to do with you, my community out there. I want to do more digital to analog events, and if you have any ideas or if you have any wishes or if you have anything you want to share with me, please do it. Shoot me an email at alexander@watchadvisor.com. I'm very happy to answer your emails. And if you have any ideas what we could do or what would be interesting for you, let us know, and we are more than happy to organize something. But 2020 will definitely be a year where we are going to have more live events. Yes, sir. The gray market was yes. This is good. Samuel Keller now says, since I've been explaining why I am saying Jaeger-LeCoultre, yeah, he just wrote me in German that he's happy why, since I told him how it is pronounced correctly as I see it. Yeah, if there is again a Frenchie out there, s'il y a quelqu'un en français qui veut dire Jaeger, il peut aller. Allez-y mes amis, Jaeger-LeCoultre. No. We stay and we were gonna say Jaeger-LeCoultre, und auch in Deutsch werde ich sagen Jaeger-LeCoultre, und se lo dico in italiano direi Jaeger-LeCoultre. Good. No more things. Have you seen some of the models that we released in 2020? Yes, I have seen, but I had to swear not to talk about earlier than mid of January when they are going to do some releases. So let me video on the making of Panerai. The best, Herb writes best of 2019, the video on the making of Panerai and the best watch 50th anniversary of El Primero. Thank you very much. That is a good one. Thank you very much for sharing this video or for watching the video. We had a lot of fun filming it, and of course, a lot of fun seeing your reactions. I think we have some 800 comments on it, so it's really amazing. Okay, where is a good place to shop for a second-hand Panerai? If you are close to a Bucherer store, Bucherer in Geneva started with certified pre-owned watches and will very quickly open up also in Zurich. Les Ambassadeurs in Zurich have a certified pre-owned store. So everyone who offers certified pre-owned watch as a retailer who guarantees you that the watch has been taken care of, serviced a little bit, is a good place to shop. Don't buy any of these watches at any apparel dealers or grey market dealers. Please do not do it. Then which brands pissed you off? If you can say, I won't tell you. Sorry. I am a Swiss guy, but love Nomos. Edwin Job says, is there anything wrong with it? No, absolutely not, because Nomos is doing a great job, considering the fact that they are offering an incredible incredible quality for the money. It's gorgeous. So nothing, no. Even the Swiss admire Nomos, what they're doing, and they're admiring them also for being able to manufacture watches at this level of quality for such a price. Calistomon is writing, hi Alexander, it's great that you are doing these live chats. Could you please tell me what you think about Raymond Weil as a starting point to get a nice watch? Happy and prosperous New Year. Honestly speaking, I'm a little bit disappointed of Raymond Weil recently. Raymond Weil was an incredible brand many years ago, and they are losing terrain or ground year by year. And what they're doing is not really something I'm impressed of. So maybe you find another choice than Raymond Weil. In principle, I'm sure what you get is okay. But me, honestly speaking, I'm not impressed anymore of Raymond Weil. They had their best times, and recently they lost credibility for me. That's my personal opinion. What Gilles Reils? Where are you living? Gilles Reis says, where are you living? I am actually based in Vienna, Austria. And I'm going forward and backward to Switzerland a couple of times per month, even sometimes per week. But I'm based in Vienna, Austria, and so far I have no plans to go to Switzerland and live there. But who knows? Thanks, Alexander. Those tours sound fabulous. Have a great 2020. Yes, I'm looking forward to. Now, Farhan asks a question. What is your opinion on the growth of the smartwatches and smartwatch wearable industry? Would it do what Quartz did to the luxury image, a mechanical watch that would keep them unaffected? I'm pretty often live at CNN Money, because the anchors based in Switzerland who do CNN Money in Switzerland like me, and the way how I see things. And recently we had a discussion about wearables, smartwatches, and I said straightforward, I don't think that they are a danger for the higher priced Swiss watches, but I think they are endangering some of the entry price level, and you see it in the export numbers are dramatically dropping due to the fact that people no longer buy a cheap or a very entry price level from Switzerland, but they go for a smartwatch directly. And it could be dangerous if there is no answer coming from Switzerland. And I very much hope that there will be answers from Switzerland. We're waiting for an answer for Tissot. The Swatch Group has announced to have its own operating system to come, Swatch OS, where I'm still waiting for it. And I hope that there will be an answer. And I very much would say that the development of the smartwatch so far is going into the direction to be a medical healthcare device, as I see it, because most of the new applications that come on board are medical healthcare applications. So you can monitor a lot of things, and you will be able to monitor far more things in the future. And I assume that the smartwatches will be the must-have item on the wrist of people 50 or 60 plus, because they all want to be taking care of their smartwatch in terms of that they have a device on the wrist that will probably tell them if they have a heart attack or what or else. And this will be probably the biggest market for smartwatches to come. And now it's the industry, the classical watch industry, that is in charge of gaining the attraction again back from younger people, or to attract younger people to wear a watch again. And if it's a watch, a mechanical watch, to be proud of and to read into the history and to be proud to wear something that is not needing anything else than just your personal energy on the wrist by shaking your arms. And I'm very much convinced that the future of watchmaking is absolutely not endangered if it is the higher price level, the lower price level. Yes, I see there is simply that's simply not an answer to just put a very cheap watch with free hands on the market. Therefore, you can get a smartwatch that is really able to do much more than this. Okay, this was very quickly the answer. Yes, thank you for the live chat. Anyhow, it's 9 o'clock. I will finish live chat. We're 2 hours online, and this is sensational that you're still there. Thank you very much, everyone, for watching. I'm just quickly scrolling through the last things that popped up here. If there's something I wanted to answer, do you think, this is a good question. Amar Al-Sayab asked me, hi Alexander, do you think we'll see an updated Type 20 Aeronaval? Yes. If it will have a vertical clutch and probably yes, and not column wheel, because that's what they're doing also now. Vertical clutch, I think they will stay with vertical clutch. I don't know. Maybe they are working on a new movement with a column wheel. I don't know. So far, it's a vertical clutch. And anti-magnetic, yes, as possible as they can do it with a silicone hairspring, but they will probably never reach the level that Omega has. And this is something that is the USB of Omega with those 15,000 Gauss. But definitively, we will see a watch. This is what Mark told me, Mark Hayek, already 2 years ago, and they're working on it. I know it. I've seen it. I know it. This is also a last good question here. Do you think Omega will be releasing a GMT version of their new? Yes, Sima. Yes, they will. Greetings, Antonius from Cyprus. Yes, they will. Definitely, there will be a GMT. Yes. Any visits planned for Omega or IWC? We could think about that. I will be at Omega next week and talk about probably possible visit. Since I have not heard anything about it so far, I can't tell you if they will agree, but I'm working on it. IWC, if you want, guys, we can do something. Absolutely possible, yes. Just let me know. Again, shoot me emails at Alexander@watchadvisor, written in one word, watchadvisor.com, alexander@watchadvisor.com, and I will take everything under consideration, talk about it, forward your emails, and put something together with great pleasure, always. So now it's 9 o'clock. Thank you, everybody out there. I see we are almost through. I had a little bit the impression that we were not so clear about what would be the best watch for 2019. But maybe we are. Let's put it that way. All the watches are winners for 2019. All the watches we liked, and maybe there are some we liked more, some we liked less. One thing we have to say is that all the watches coming from the big brands are done in an exceptional quality these days. Some are better a little bit. Some are having more USP, like Omega with the anti-magnetism and so on. But end of the day, a mechanical wristwatch, as we are talking and discussing them here, they are all gorgeous and they're all worth the money and they're all worth to go for. So keep on enjoying your watches, keep on enjoying your hobby and your passion for watches. This is what I'm wanting. This is what I want to ask you to continue in 2020. Stay healthy. Try to keep everything good together. Be nice to your friends, neighbors, family. And enjoy life. That's the most important thing. And I want to say goodbye now. Happy New Year from here from Austria. We will celebrate New Year's Eve tomorrow with the traditional, in the traditional way. Happy New Year to everyone out there, and see you back here on our YouTube channel very, very soon. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for being there. And don't forget to say and tell all your friends to come and join the community, our growing community, to subscribe to our community, and to comment as much as they can. And once again, please, if you have anything, if you have questions, Alexander at watchadvisor.com. I'm more than happy to answer your emails. Bye-bye for now from Vienna, and thank you very much one last time for joining the live chat. Bye.